Definitely not the Die Hard effect.
Space wizards and, laser swords.
Pristine clothing.
Okay, we can suspend our belief on that one.
This is UnpauseIt, a podcast by a family of geeks.
Hey Unpausers, it has finally arrived. Star Wars, The Rise of Skywalker, which is actually the end of Skywalker, or so we are told.
Wow.
Our family crew saw the film on the first day of the holiday break, so the first day the kids were out of school, and you're about to hear the reaction episode from that screening. Spoilers? Oh yeah. There are totally spoilers in this podcast, so if you haven't yet seen The Rise of Skywalker and want to go in cold, pause it right now. Come back when you've seen it. Otherwise, we're diving right in. Oh, and we recorded this in the car ride home, and then once we got home, so we could get the fresh takes. May the pod be with you.
We're going to get just one first word, dude.
I don't have one yet.
I would say the music was absolutely a character in this whole movie, and it always has been, but man, they used it for some moments. That was awesome.
Yeah, the music was throwback, that's for sure.
Oh, so good.
All right, so seriously, when she killed Chewie.
Oh, right?
I was about to sue this company.
Oh, that was, I was like startled, and I wondered, I'm like, well, maybe we saw it.
I'm like, there's no way. There's no way.
Well,
they're killing Chewie.
I thought back to the trailer. I'm like, maybe they snowed us with the trailer. I was like, oh my gosh, that was amazing, an amazing scene. Because basically she's pulling down a starship, and you're like, oh, she's pulling down a starship. But, oh, that was intense.
I was about to sue Star Wars.
And then the lightning, the fact that she did it with lightning, you're like, what?
Again, sue Star Wars.
Yeah, you were having a rough go with that, Georgia. That was a rough one. How about when he learned that Leia died? I cried. That was when I first cried.
I would have, but I'm not my mom, so I'm not going to do that.
What about you, Willis?
No comment.
No, you gotta comment.
You don't get a choice.
Alright, so there's only one thing I want to talk about.
What is it?
When Ben obviously turned to the light side, he was obviously in the light side, and he threw his lightsaber, I'm like, hey, what if he goes back and gets his old lightsaber from Jedi Training Temple? That's all I
Yeah,
had.
that would have been cool if there was time for that, but it didn't look like it. He just went without a lightsaber.
So, was that really Harrison Ford? Or did they CGI?
No, that was Harrison Ford.
Dang, that was
He was not credited, so he probably did that to just say, hey.
Fine, I'll do the last one.
So there's a few things, that I had a problem with. But the redemption of Kylo, I'm like, you can't go back to the light side, right, Georgia? I was totally on that thing.
The only reason why I'm fine with it is because
Harrison
Han
Ford
Solo
was
said
there.
it was okay. So.
That's the only way they could do it. And Harrison Ford, Han Solo basically said,
Go take care of it.
it happened.
Yep.
I would like to point out that the ghost from Star Wars Rebels joined the Armada.
We know, and I knew it was there. We were trying to watch it. You're like, you're trying to get us to look. We haven't seen that. So that was a moment for you only.
ghost.
I did see you in Georgia.
Enjoy the moment.
You guys were connecting a couple times across me. Like, did you see that?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, that was only for the triangle thingies and stuff.
Yeah. How did you know about the triangle thingies?
Rebels.
Oh.
Yeah, see, there's tons
We haven't
of
seen Rebels.
Rebels things in there.
Okay.
What was that thing that Maz gave Chewie?
Yeah, that
It
It
was
was the
like a
medal.
medal.
The medal from the
Oh, from the first New Hope. That was the medal that they got, and Chewie didn't get a medal on the first.
It wasn't New Hope, it was the last
'Cause-
one.
People are stupid.
It was the last one. What was the last?
The Last Jedi.
No,
They got Return of the Jedi.
Return of the Jedi.
They got medals in Return of the
They
Jedi.
only got medals in New Hope, dude.
Oh, so it's New Hope. now.
That's what
Yeah.
she did now.
Why
poor
are you
Chewie,
starting-
dude.
They only got medals in Star Wars.
Okay.
That's known
Yeah.
as Star Wars. The
That's
movie's
not what I'm
called
saying.
Star Wars.
Dad, finish, Phil.
No.
Okay.
But I did not have a problem with the redemption of Kylo like I thought I would.
Ah.
One of my favorite parts was when Leia was a Force ghost. Cause I was requesting that ever since the movie was even announced.
Yes.
Yeah, with all the fan service that's in it, couldn't they have gotten a whole thing of think of Avatar where he lights up and it has that huge long line of avatars that go by
Yeah.
there? Couldn't they have done that where it's like that and then it's
That would have been cool.
just a bunch and boys that don't even know, and just a bunch of creatures, and they're all just like doing that thing, and it's just like, and it comes back in.
But it did bring full circle too, where you hear Rey, you're taking her first steps when she first had that vision down in Maz's basement. So then you're like, oh.
Yeah.
So she was destined to take all the Jedi unto herself, and
Yeah, the only voice I could actually get from that part was Anakin, because, like...
oh really?
It was Anakin. It was Vader. James Earl Jones. It was
Obi-Wan for sure.
Definitely
Yeah. Yoda.
Obi-Wan. It was Alec Guinness. Obi-Wan.
It was Yoda.
Luke.
It was Luke. It was Leia. You heard Leia in there.
Oh, was she the female?
It was the Jedi. Who's the guy that they think is still alive, but he's not in the outer worlds? He's from Rebels or Clone Wars or whatever.
It's not Dooku.
He's played by Freddie Prinze Jr. He's voiced by Freddie Prinze Jr.
What
Oh,
does he sound like?
He sounds like Freddie Prinze Jr. He's a
I don't
he's
know
a
what that-
Jedi.
I don't know what that sounds
let me
like.
finish. He's a
Let me
Jedi in Rebels, or a Force user.
Ezra?
Ezra.
Ezra's the little one.
Yeah, his voice was in there.
Ezra's not dead.
He is gone. That's kind of what that confirms.
No, Ezra is definitely not dead.
No, it's been confirmed.
Well, I mean,
He's not dead.
the
It's
show
not
is
Ezra.
when... The show is when Obi-Wan is still alive, so...
Yeah, see, this is way past that. Well, this is like past his lifetime.
No, it is happening. He's old. Baby.
Okay.
You can hold on to that
Just
all you
move
want,
on.
but you're wrong.
move on.
No, you're wrong. You haven't seen Rebels.
You're
You don't
right.
know.
All right. I like the little. I thought
I haven't seen podcasts.
they did make things more serious. They did have enough little humor in it that was awesome. I thought it was just the right touch of humor. I loved the general.
Right?
That was awesome. I was like, you guys are so silly. Wait, did she do that? Did she do that to us? He's like, you want to do this now? Can you think of a better time? Oh, and then when Ginger Boy is like, I am the mole. I knew it. I knew you were the mole. And everybody's like, how did you know? You did not know.
Hux, yeah.
Yeah. And he's like, I don't care if you win. I just want Kylo Ren to lose. He's like, oh.
Yeah. So, and making Snoke what people were thinking, like just the most obvious thing, just a cloned vessel for Palpatine, basically.
Yep.
I didn't hate that. I thought that would just be like a cop-out, like, meh, you know.
I think her force healing powers were interesting. We hadn't seen that really
So
before.
they said that the Mandalorian was going to tie in. That's how it ties in.
because Yoda has force heal.
Well, Baby Yoda species.
Yeah, Baby Yoda species has force
Baby
heal.
of Yoda's species.
Ah. Okay. It's a loose tie-in, but alright.
Yeah, they call the Yoda species tridactyls because there's 3 of them that appear. So, yeah.
That's what other people call them. That's not what they're called.
Yeah.
I know. Actually, George Lucas said that he didn't name them, so...
I
So it's going to somebody else to name them.
I did. So, okay, the part where Rey was putting her, like, I thought she was going to kill herself for a second. Like, the sacrifice has to be made. She's going to be like, fine, I'll sacrifice myself. You don't win. And so, but instead I loved it that she handed the lightsaber to Kylo. And then he just started kicking butt.
And then she
started kicking butt. They kicked
You remember
butt.
when Kyler just held his hands out and Dad didn't see?
Yes,
he didn't
that was
want
cool. That was cool. That was a little more of like a...
I can see Rey using a yellow lightsaber because it's like...
it. Hey, like,
It's
And
like
it's a
a
yellow
neutral.
double lightsaber, too, actually.
yeah, it is.
What?
I think, yeah, it had a double...
It also switched colors.
Which is what her evil side looked like. She had a double lightsaber.
Yeah,
Sort
but
of
she
dark
fights with a staff. That was the first fight that we saw, was with a staff.
side. Yeah.
So double-sided lightsaber was, everyone thought that's what we would see in The Last Jedi, is Rey with a double-sided lightsaber.
What if it's not double-sided?
And it's yellow, which means she has balance.
Balance.
Yellow does not mean no.
Like ultra dramatic balance and stuff.
Well, it kind of does. Yeah, from Knights of the Old Republic.
I'm gonna say something drastic. I'm gonna come with a hot take. What is the name of the little mechanic guy?
Babu?
He is cuter than Baby Yoda.
Well, that's
He's
not
cooler
true.
and cuter. Yes, he is.
He's
Like if-
cooler, but he is not cuter.
Like if Baby
He's
Yoda
totally-
was a chain-smoking,
I
hard-drinking
loved
old
him.
mechanic,
But
maybe.
you can't interact with Baby Yoda. You can totally interact with that guy, and he's cute. And he's just kind of this little gruff, cute little thing.
That's why he said he's cooler.
He's
but
totally
he is not more cute.
I think he's
No.
cuter.
Like, I stand with that. If you're into chain smoking old grumpy mechanics.
He was awesome. Oh, 3PO coming alive with red eyes. That was like, dang. Are you about to shake down? What's going on?
Yeah, so the John Williams
That was
and
interesting.
Anthony Daniels cameos were, cool.
Yeah. John Williams was the bartender at that cantina they went to on Kajimi.
Yep.
And the composer of all of that.
That much I did know.
He's
All right, so yeah, back to that music. I love when you realize that the Millennium Falcon has brought people, and he just comes over the rise, and then you hear the traditional music. You're like,
music.
that was such a satisfying moment. So satisfying.
I want to go back to yellow lightsabers.
Okay, yellow lightsabers
Were wielded by the Sith at one point.
were wielded by the Sith.
Yeah, at one point. They were, yes, alongside Red. It has happened. It has been confirmed. Lucasfilm has made a video game. It looks kind of cool.
Well, okay, I'm glad you brought the game up too, because
It's not new.
in the game they talk about the plot of the Sith to grab young kids and indoctrinate them into.
It's also not Fallen Order.
But
No, it's not falling.
But I'm talking about in this movie, they talk about how they've, and it's just like what happened to Finn and what happened to that other chick. And, well, we were taken as children, and you even got hints of that when we first met Finn. But they talk about that, and that refers to in the game how that was their plan, that they're abducting children and turning them into stormtroopers. So that confirmed that to me. That lined up that.
And we're not talking about video games, Will. We're talking about this
But
movie.
no. I think we should talk about video games because they do tie into this.
Well, they tie in.
And that's what I was saying, and I brought it up. Thank you very much.
All right.
Be all
Rachel.
crabby about it.
I will be crabby about it.
Yeah, you are.
Dark Side should have won.
Jeez.
I was like, yeah, do it. Do it.
Well,
No,
I mean, it is
do it.
kind of satisfying.
Do it.
That's because you're evil and you're the Empire back there. I thought the saber fights were on point. I thought they were solid. All of the saber fights were good.
Do you like the kissing, Will?
No, I did not.
No kissing.
Yeah, I did
And that was
either.
also a little too, that just happened out of nowhere.
What was Finn gonna say?
I agree, though at first I'm like, oh God, please no. And then he died and I'm like, okay. So it was kind of more, and then it made sense to me because he had said, he's like, look, we have this connection. And when you're connected like that to somebody, you're just probably going to naturally be like, dude, we're kind of like the same person or feel like we are. So there's a closeness there. But then he died.
Which is a good thing.
Yeah. He done died.
What was Finn gonna say to Rey?
I think he loves her.
Same, but it probably wasn't that. He knew
No, I
Poe
think
did.
what Finn was going to say is that he can feel when she's around because he's
Force
not Jedi Force sensitive. He's Maz Kanata type Force sensitive.
Yes.
He's like Chirrut Imlay, can like sense the Force. He was also part of the Awakening from Force Awakens,
Mm-hmm.
but he's not at that level.
No. But he also was able to wield a lightsaber a little tiny bit.
Yeah, so did Han.
Yeah.
Man, I thought these things stung on the outside.
I thought.
But that's what I think. What do you think, Will?
No.
We never would find out.
Georgia, how'd you feel when you heard Han Solo's voice? She's all good. They're like, yes, I am. It was so good. I was like, oh my God, he's in it. Oh my God. And then I just was like, blah.
So when I did that, when he did that, I gained the theory that all people are Force sensitive, but not like Jedi Force, but they can,
Well, the Force binds everything. That's
Yeah.
what the Jedi have always said, right?
I mean, it's basically your oxygen.
Kind of is what they're saying. But Han Solo was not a Force ghost. Han Solo, that was part of Kylo Ren, and that was set up in The Last Jedi. Where Luke was like, you strike me down in anger, I will always haunt you.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Which is what he did.
Yeah.
And so, basically, Kylo is what tied Han to that. And so why he wasn't blue,
Yeah.
right?
I was like, when in The Last Jedi, when he told me that it was a Force ghost, even though it wasn't, I was like, but it's not blue!
Well,
Because,
Last Jedi was Force projection.
Exactly. You said it was a Force ghost.
Well, it's this kind of the same kind of word. You can quibble at something I said 2 years ago.
Yes.
That's fine.
Because you quibble, we quibble. Quibbling's
Whatever.
happening. And of course they had to have a little porg in there. Just a couple little porgs. And I liked how they brought it full circle that Luke, and I was waiting for that when she first went to the island. He raised his ship out of the water. You're like, raised
Right.
ship.
And then you immediately go back to the Dagobah system.
Were you surprised by anything?
No.
No, that's
No, that was a joke. I need to think
Yeah.
about that.
Chewbacca being
That
Right.
was a surprise.
And that's when I was deciding to sue Star Wars.
I know, and then I'm like doing what she's doing. I'm like, wait a minute.
Yeah. I was
We
like,
haven't seen things that we've seen already.
in the trailer, but then I thought, I mean, maybe they did. Maybe they were smart. Tried to fool us.
Right?
I think Chewbacca was one of the only things that truly surprised me. Like,
Yellow lightsaber at the end.
that did not.
That was
surprised me.
just awesome. It didn't really surprise me.
I was thinking it was gonna be purple, like Mace, or like it would actually be one side was blue, one side was red.
I know that yellow lightsabers have
Well, I
been
mean,
widely conversed throughout galaxies, Star Wars Galaxy. They can be used for anything. Like Guardians of Jedi Temples, yellow lightsabers, always double weighted.
Yeah,
But that was Sith
that was
community.
before the Disney merger, so that's not canon.
I know the Sith community, led by that one guy from the game we're talking about.
Bane.
Yellow lightsabers. No, what? Bang. I can find it through a song.
No.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Yeah, the Chewbacca was like, what?
That's one.
That's when I decided to sue.
Yeah.
Well, in that whole scene, like, I was surprised when because he's like, they got Chewie, and then she just grabs the ship basically in midair, and you're like, what? That was pretty awesome.
Yeah, because I mean, you can't take away the only connection to Han Solo besides dead people. So,
He can go change. He can go change.
Yeah, no
Dude.
one-
can I
change really quick.
change?
Yes.
Yes, we're fine.
Ugh.
So not the same actor as Palpatine.
Yeah. That's
No,
Ian McDermott.
really?
Yeah, it was totally the same back.
Okay.
They didn't put makeup on him because he's already old now.
He's dead. He's a corpse.
Yeah, and he was a corpse. And if you notice, they did to the makeup on him when he was like,
Yeah.
when he took the thing.
Did you hear? Did you hear Sam? Almost said Nick Fury. Did you hear Sam Jackson's voice in the Jedi's? I didn't.
Yeah.
I didn't.
Yeah.
But I was listening
They
close.
did. Now, I was hoping they would just do like I said, a visual of that.
Yeah.
So that's a disappointment.
They coulda. I think they coulda.
As a movie goes, if I was a movie critic, it's not as good as The Last Jedi, like as structure. But as a Star Wars movie,
Yeah.
it answers so many questions and pulls things together and introduces just enough new little things to make it satisfying.
Well, it had enough callbacks to old things to make you feel like, oh,
Yes.
that was good. Oh, I love. Okay, another humor part. I love the chess game where they're like,
He cheats.
like, yeah, he's like, he cheats. Rah! No, we know. Look, you're 200-something years old. Of course you're better at it than we are. No, but he cheats. I'm like, no, I'm not going to turn it off. Psh, turns it off. That they so quickly establish that there's buddiness.
There's a rapport.
Yeah, there's rapport and they're buddies. That was good.
And I did like the de-aged Luke and Leia.
I thought that Leia, they stumbled a little bit on that one. Luke looked like spot on. Leia was like, okay,
Well, that's
it's
probably just the
your
exact same
computer.
thing they did with from Empire Strikes Back. They just took that image.
Yeah.
And they didn't have that for her.
Yeah, they didn't have it.
Yeah. The Leia's lightsaber is my other surprise.
Nah, that was a surprise. She's like, wait, what? I remember that was one point where the kids were like, what? Leia's got a lightsaber! Ah! Remember when Leia had a lightsaber? We're like, what?
She wanted to train before Jedi. I think that's what that meant.
Well, she was training to be a Jedi. Luke was passing on,
Yeah.
and she's super powerful, right?
Yeah.
And she was finishing it, but then walked away from the Jedi because she saw what was going to happen.
Yeah.
She knew what was happening with Kylo, I guess. Crazy.
Right. It's crazy.
All the Skywalkers are dead by blood.
Yes. But she's she's adopted into the family of Skywalkers because she's a Jedi. Should have been a Sith turned Jedi.
Yeah. I didn't like that. There's a couple of ones. One of the things I didn't like.
About her taking Skywalker. I was hoping she'd say Palpatine at the end.
Palpatine. And I'm like, he doesn't seem like the kind of guy that would.
He had concubines, dude. That guy was getting it on.
Yeah, but granddaughter, great granddaughter is what they should have said. Like the timeline of it.
Yeah.
Does not
compute.
It doesn't mesh, especially in the flashback thing. You know, which was. After Return of the Jedi, right? So I'm like, I mean, I guess it's possible. Tony Randall had a kid when he was 75, but still.
True.
If they were to say great granddaughter, and from a concubine, like just saying something like that, where
I would have found that more believable.
Yeah.
Hi, Kat. What do you want?
What's up, Beal?
It's like, where have you been? You've been watching Star Wars, haven't you?
I was watching it, and I'm like, you know, I don't need to see this one again to change my notion of it. Like The Last Jedi, the more I saw it, the more I see it, the more I like it. This one, I'm like, you know, I think it's just like, I really like it, but it's still not. It's not as a movie goes. It's a great ending to a huge 9 arc. It almost played more like it would be a great television finale. Does that make sense?
Sure.
Which is just a different form of media, and it felt really good though, you know?
Yeah. I liked it. It was good. It was emotionally satisfying. Yeah, I honestly, when she looked over and saw Luke and Leia, I'm like, you're gonna say you're Skywalker, aren't you? I was like, just say you're Palpatine. It's fine. Like,
Or just,
I'm Rey Palpatine.
I'm just Leia.
Yeah. Or just say
Rey.
Or just say I'm Rey.
Yeah.
And that's all you need to know.
Just Rey.
I'm just Rey.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. It was a little. I had a problem with that too, but.
But yeah, Chewie's reaction to Leia dying was very on point. Because I was like, yeah, that was your clan, man.
And you know, and people are like, well, he did that for Han. He killed his own.
Dude, he went in a rage.
He killed trying to kill Han's son.
Yeah, he went in a rage, and he's like, I'm blowing everything up right now. And then he did mourn at the end because he came back, and remember, he was all like despondent and just like really feeling it.
Who went in a rage?
Chewie after Han was killed.
Remember?
Oh.
And he like tried to kill Kylo.
Yeah, he was going, and then, but we were trying to compare that to now. He found out Leia died, and he's like, well, that's my last person, basically.
So people were talking in
Besides Lando.
Yeah. In pre-interviews, if you will, about you know, we have all these new Force things. It's like, oh, okay, you're kind of contrived. Like, we saw super fast Force moving and super high Force jumping in Phantom Menace. Never see it again.
Because people are stupid.
Right? Just had like lifting rocks and stuff like that, and the Force Ghost voice from Star Wars. It's just Star Wars. A New Hope is for young millennials.
You know what else? So I'm gonna put another interesting tie-in is you know it was Leia and Han and Luke, and obviously Leia and Han had a thing going, but not always. But so now you've got Rey and then Poe and Finn. And I did like that when they came back from all the light skipping or light jump skipping.
And then like the banter.
Yeah, and then he's like, what'd you do to BB-8? What'd you do to the Falcon? Like, what'd you drop a tree on him? Did you light skip? And then like Chewie says something, she goes, you jumped, because he's basically tattling on him. He's like, yeah, he had this doing this. That was awesome. I loved that part. I thought they did a really good job with that, where you're like, you guys have been friends for a while. Huh?
I like the Tattletale movie.
That Tattletale moment was awesome. She's like, you did what? That was great.
I like that. You know, I didn't like the being a Palpatine thing. It just didn't feel right. But had it worded it differently, like we were just talking about, the more I think about it, the more I would like that. And I didn't like not seeing the other Jedi and only having it Luke and Leia. Like you start with Luke and Leia, and then it just kind of like fades back, or like it pans up, whatever.
Yeah.
And you can just like see, and there's 1,000 generations.
Yeah.
A generation is 10 or 20 years, right? So we're gonna say 10 to 20,000 years of Jedi now.
I would have preferred that if she would just be like, I'm just Rey, and
and be just Rey.
because I'm all of them. Yeah, they don't have to be a name.
Yeah, and then people are saying the Rise of Skywalker will be that this is now the Skywalker instead of Jedi.
I really
Call them
wanted her
Skywalkers instead of Jedi.
I really wanted her to say Rey Palpatine, because I mean, like,
I did
it's
too.
still cool.
Yeah, just own it. Own
And
who
well,
you are.
and change the destiny of that name. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, Emperor Palpatine was evil, and be like, no, I am a
Now you could
Palpatine.
be Emperor Pickletine.
Yeah, and it goes back to Abrams not able to stick the landing to the movie. Like, there's always one tiny thing in there that sours it, and then he did it this time again with the Rey Skywalker thing.
I know what you're thinking of. You're thinking of not having Willem Shatner.
At least even start it going
Yeah.
space to Final Frontier, and then you have
You
all the
understand that.
captains. You could have had Picard do it, and you could have had Cisco do it, and you could have had Janeway do it.
Oh, that would have been cool.
Right.
Janeway.
What
And they could have just
about,
done it lines.
Christopher Pike.
Yes.
He wasn't in like the show as a main character.
Yeah.
Anyway, you gotta bring Star Trek into Star Wars.
Of course. Well, you brought up J.J. Abrams, and that was on point.
Yeah.
No, I agree. I mean, like, I liked the whole movie. I think I'd probably ratings.
Willis, ratings, come here.
We just need to do a rating, and then you stop talking about it if you want. What's our unit of measure? What do we think?
Yellow lightsabers?
I was kind of thinking yellow lightsaber
Should we
blades.
do yellow lightsaber blades? Yellow lightsabers?
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing, G.
I think we should go with that.
Yeah.
All
It's the
right.
first time you've ever seen it on screen.
What do you think? What do you rate it? 10 being the best, obviously.
8.7 out of 10.0.
Willis!
You are such a decimal rater. So 8.7 yellow lightsabers.
Yes.
Okay. I think that's adequate.
Yellow lightsabers.
I'm gonna give it. I don't do decimals.
You can fix it after.
Yeah, we'll come fix it, dude. We'll help. What do you rate it?
Wait, what?
The movie.
And
Ten
yellow
out of 10.
lightsaber blades.
Yellow lightsabers. 10 being a perfect experience. Yellow lightsabers.
Try not to make noise, right?
Oops, sorry.
It's okay. I know, right?
Overall, it wasn't my favorite Star Wars movie.
What did you rate, Lauren?
I'm gonna give it a. I'm gonna give it a 7.5 out of 10.
You said
Yellow
you wouldn't
lightsabers.
use decimals.
I lied. I can't give it a 7. I can't give it an 8.
Oh,
7.5.
I'm gonna give it 3/4. See, I didn't use decimals.
3/4.
7.5.
Okay.
I did not use.
Yeah, I used
Anyway,
8.7 out of 10.
How many yellow lightsaber blades for you, Willis?
7.5.
Yeah. 7.5.
Mine is 8.7.
8.7.
8.7.
I know where you're going.
7.9.
You are really? I thought you'd go lower. I did think you'd go lower.
That's a C. It's a C work. It's not A or B. It's C.
There were like,
Anything
moment
below
where I was
50%
about to
is watchable. And this is watchable.
there was one moment where I was about to sue Star Wars. There was
Yeah, there's an emotionally
another
gut-wrenching
moment where I was just confused. And there was another moment where I was just like, ugh.
Yeah. And since it's being recorded,
Thanks,
I'll go
Will.
on record. It is not nearly as good of a movie as Rogue One is, even with all its problems,
Agreed.
as Empire Strikes Back is,
Agreed.
as The Last Jedi is. Whether you like it or not, the quality of the movie is good. Right?
Yeah.
And it's on par with Revenge of the Sith.
You're using words I don't know how to do things.
On par is kind of like equal.
It's even with Revenge of the
same
Sith,
level.
which was kind of jumbled and trying to bring everything back together, and at the end had this nice turn.
Yeah.
Like had the turn happen before it did or whatever. At least it wasn't at the very, very end.
Yeah.
And they did a good job with that. They did a good job with Anakin turning, but it was just too late in the movie. It should have been much more Vader. That's what we wanted to hear. That's what, when I was there, I was like, I wish we would have seen just totally Vader going Vader for half the movie. And he's like, wish we could have totally seen Ben Solo being good Ben for half the movie.
That's right.
Right? And it turned out to be quite a long time.
I did really like too the moments between the two of them. I liked those exchanges that they were able to fight through those, and then like he learned where she was, but then she was that led to the end where she was able to partner up with him. But
Kind of annoying.
I like it.
Yeah, one of the ways it made Last Jedi better, in a similar way that Avengers Endgame made Thor Dark World better, right, is the tie-in. Because the first time when they were like connected, and she's sitting there, I don't want to do this right now, and the wave splashes,
Yeah.
and he looks down, and his glove is wet.
Yeah. And you could tell like, okay, we're having
So he's figuring out that he can do this now that they're connected.
Yeah.
So he can actually reach across the galaxy through the Force and pull things in. That's something Luke didn't even think he could do, really, because he could have actually fought him there, because then they actually had a lightsaber fight in the same manner that Luke was there, but he wasn't connected. Like, these two are connected, which allows him to do that.
Yep.
It's so cool. And pulling things through the Force, through space and time,
Yes, that was cool.
and the healing thing. So there's tons of like new things in here.
Yes.
But that's how it was set up, and it was set up, so when she was doing the thing with the lightsaber, I'm like, oh, so it's gonna go there.
So
'Cause he grabbed the necklace.
That's right. And I was wondering, because remember I had heard someone talk on another podcast about droids and the whole droid thing in the episode 7 of The Mandalorian, where that was a droid that had been an assassin or a bounty hunter, but now it got reprogrammed, and the guy says, and he's like, well, no, you're programming, he's a protector. It's a protector droid. So I'm anticipating in the next Mandalorian he's going to come out and
Be a revenge
kick some butt.
droid.
But that, I did think that, so now I kind of wonder if that thread might kind of continue too, because they did make many references and things in this movie about the importance of droids. Droids have their programming, I know they had to like reset 3PO so he could even give them the message. But then you've got that little droid, that he wound up being in it. He knew stuff. It just kind of emphasizes the importance of droids. And I did wonder the whole time, I'm like, is there going to be a moment where the droids rise and say, oh, heck no, I'm sick of this crap. You guys are telling us, but they didn't.
Which is
That's
planted
fine.
in Solo with whatever face was.
That's right. Oh, yeah, because the Falcon is that droid.
Yeah.
Basically. But yeah, so I wonder if we're going to see more of that too, and just kind of have that carry on. It does, and Leia even says she was never underestimate the power of a droid, and it's true. It's like, yeah. So, interesting things.
Yeah.
It was good. I liked it. I thought it gave me a lot to think about and feel.
No.
Was there something that you were kind of hoping you would see that you didn't? Because this is the fan service movie, which is why I rated it a little bit lower.
Okay.
What about you?
So, in that moment when the three of them were hugging after they destroyed everything and stuff, back on that one planet, and they were like zooming out, that was a perfect moment where a Force Ghost could just appear. And it was annoying that one didn't.
Yeah, not seeing the Force Ghosts. What about you, Mom?
I think I thought I would see, or hoped I would see.
Yeah.
You know what? I kind of was wishing. I think I would have preferred it to end not the way it did, frankly. I would have preferred if Kylo or Ben was the survivor and Rey was not. I would have preferred that. That's right. Yes, I would have preferred that, I think, because he was... I get that, I think when he made that last choice to heal her with his life force, and that pretty much destroyed him, he died. I get why he did it, because maybe he felt like, okay, this is my mother's dead, my father's dead, I have nothing else, I can't go back, whatever.
Psychologically couldn't come back from the dark he did.
Right, I get that. But I think it would have been a more interesting story had she not made it. But in a way where it's like, no, this was what I was meant to do, and now it is the rise indeed of Skywalker, because you are a Skywalker, and now you're the one that's left to establish the balance. That would have, for me, made the through thread of the whole thing of, well, Anakin is meant to bring balance to the Force. Yes, he is, because now his descendant has brought it.
This is what I would like to have happened.
So that's me.
Because Rey succeeded in the end, and she's now Skywalker. I wish the day before it was released, or the day of releasing it, that it was changed to the Rise of Palpatine instead of the Rise of Skywalker. That would have been so strange.
Instead of Rise of Skywalker, named it Rise of Palpatine.
Georgia would be good fanfic.
No, the day it came out.
Yeah.
In theaters.
But yeah, I think I would have preferred it. I know it would have made people howl with rage, but it's just they're doing it anyway. But it'd be like, no, I think he needed to live instead of her.
Yeah, I'm not going to lose any sleep over things I didn't like in this movie.
No, it's fine.
Yeah.
And actually, I had a thought. I haven't seen A Marriage Story, but right in the moment where they kiss, I'm like, better moment than the whole Marriage Story movie. Because that was even better than that whole movie from what I've heard.
Yeah, that was just confusing.
Anyway.
I haven't seen it, so whatever.
Confusing.
Maybe people like it, but that's what I've heard.
Anyway, I wanted to see Luke's green lightsaber come back. That's what I was thinking it was going to be. That's why I was surprised it was Leia's lightsaber. I'm like, wait a minute, what is this? But I was hoping that it's like, here's, and lose the lightsaber somehow, and it comes back and it's green. So if we have two blue lightsabers at the end again,
I just immediately
a
knew
green
it
and
was
blue,
Leia's.
I think would have been I would have preferred it.
I
Just to see his lightsaber again, or
Well,
a green one.
If nothing else, at least now there's going to be a new Lucas line of of Leia lightsabers that all the girls can have, or boys. Everybody can have a Leia lightsaber. Leia lightsaber for you. You get a Leia lightsaber, and you
The
get a
only
Leia
reason why I
lightsaber.
want it is because it's yellow, and I like yellow lightsabers. Because we already have.
Anything else? What did you say? What you had hoped to see?
More force ghosts instead of just voices.
Yeah. Particularly with the I am all the Jedi. It's like, yeah. Yeah,
mean,
and I think
You lost a great. I mean, to be serving this fan only, basically a great opportunity. Where I am all the Sith, and like pans back, and you just have all these like hooded,
yes,
red-eyed, like behind Palpatine.
Yep.
And then you circle, and then you go back, and then it's, well, I'm all the Jedi, and then you have recognizable Jedi, and then a bunch of ones you don't recognize, and it just goes on for 20,000 years.
It's like Avatar Last Airbender.
And then he'd be like, "Oh no."
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that was just a missed opportunity.
And there's like 20 trillion Jedi.
Well, they could have used the auditorium thing there too. What if it like now I'm all the Jedi, and all of a sudden they all turn into there's light in the stands and stuff, and it's like that's all them. I'm just putting things out there.
Something.
Yeah.
A little bit more in the visual sense.
Yeah.
In that moment.
Okay.
Did not like the kiss. Yeah.
I got it
The
once.
Reylo kiss.
I mean, actually, it made more sense to me once he died. That's when it made sense to me. But before, I'm like, and I looked at Georgia, and I think I looked at you. I'm like, oh come on, don't do this.
Yeah.
I mean, I get it, but and maybe I think they did okay. They didn't make it an entirely romantic kiss. It was more of a connection kiss.
Yeah. I didn't like the Finn and Rose kiss either.
When was the Finn and Rose kiss? That was in
in
a
the
later
last
movie.
Jedi.
In the last movie.
Yeah.
You know.
And they
Didn't
weren't.
like any of the Anakin Padme kisses either.
Oh god.
Yeah.
Who liked those? If they did, they're scary, honestly. Just scary.
I'm trying to think of anything else that was in there that I wanted to see that I did see, other than the Force Ghosts. I wanted to see them I wanted to see a Force Ghost, like, you know, fight, but I'm like, wait, that's not how that works.
I do love. I mean, we already talked a little bit about Luke's X-wing, but Red 5 is
That's
back
his
to back.
calling,
You're
yeah.
like, oh, it's Red 5. That's so cool. That was great. I did like Lando coming back in the Falcon, which was his original ship.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like that. I like that he went in to rescue them. He's like, I'm fast, not as fast as this ship. I'm like, yeah.
And I was like, seriously, I literally said this. Get past.
I liked that she, when she went into the Death Star, she went into the throne room. You did have some Jedi, Return of the Jedi, kind of like, oh,
Yeah.
this is where this all went down.
And that's where that would be. I'm like, of course that's where that would be.
Yeah.
I liked the
And it was strong on the dark side.
mysterious ray point, or like, it was like in her mind or whatever that she was fighting herself, but evil.
Right. That was cool.
And it did
That was
like,
it made me think of Captain America fighting Captain America, though.
yeah.
No, it was cool.
But it was cool.
There was no.
And then where Ben, jumps over and ow. Just that little moment of like, okay, you're a human being. That's cool. But
Is he though?
yeah.
'Cause I
Well, he
mean,
did
like,
die. He did die.
But he died on the light side just like Vader did.
I still don't like it though.
That was intense too. You see
He doesn't
Palpatine
deserve the light side.
pretty much electrocuting an entire fleet. You're like, dude,
And he's where the Sith power are. He's probably drawing power from all those
Yeah.
other people.
that's right.
Like a Sith cult. So these aren't Sith wielders, but they're a Sith cult.
When they first started like doing that epic music, I was like, please be the Phantom Menace music, please.
Yeah, we'll see it again.
And,
Yeah.
and I'm sad. Still.
Yeah, I would have. I don't know. Maybe I would have preferred her fighting with a dual lightsaber too, though, because that's so cool. But you have to be like Ray Park, like the Darth guy who played Darth Maul. That guy's just so good.
He's a choreographer. Yeah, he's
Right? Yeah.
really good.
You have to be kind of that level of
Yeah.
dexterity to pull it off without. Oh wait, there's no way you could do that. Your arm would be gone, right?
I did like
Yeah,
how
'cause when she uses her stick, it like touches her, because like Sticks.
Yeah, she fights more stuff like
Yeah, I did like how to. She's so woke to the Force, and she would just have those moments where she's kind of drifting off, and you'd see like Finn's kind of be like, "What's going on? What's going on? Where are you going?" And Poe is just always just on mission. He's like, "No, we can't. She's gonna go. We're gonna go do this. We got to take care of this." And he is just kind of like the But he's the just like Leia was. You find out later she is Force. Fully Jedi. She can be, but
she could have been.
But but she was Force sensitive to knowing that hey, Luke's in trouble and Rey's in trouble. Finn knows Rey's in trouble.
Knew she was a Palpatine. Like, if you watch Last Jedi, you go, "Who are you?" And you're like, right then, and you're like, he knows.
Yeah. When
remember?
When does he say?
He's like, "Where are you from?" "I'm from nowhere." "Nobody's from nowhere." "Jakku." "Well, that's pretty much nowhere."
Yeah.
"All right, we're from nowhere. Who are you?"
Yeah. Yeah.
And then he's like, just using Force powers to get into her brain.
And that jumps back to when he's like, she talks about her going down to that pool, and he's like, "You went right to it. You didn't even hesitate."
Yeah.
You were like, shoo. So then you're like, ah.
But she wants to be good.
Yeah.
Right? She never wears dark clothes.
Not even when she climbs through piles of really old undersea rock. I was like, wow, you are still pristine. That is amazing.
That's Star Wars.
Definitely not the Die Hard effect.
Space wizards and, laser swords.
Pristine clothing.
Okay, we can suspend our belief on that one. But yeah, and Kylo always wears black.
Yeah.
That was dark side, light side.
Yeah.
And she almost went to the dark side.
She did.
I'm going to threaten you with space wizards every day.
Space wizards.
All right,
we done?
I think so.
All right, good job, guys.
Good podcast.
May the Force be with you.
Live long and prosper.
And there you have it. Thanks for listening. And if you want to give us an earful or a keyboard full of your thoughts, visit www.unpauseIt.show and unload into the comments section for this episode. Oh, and please, the next time you're waiting in line somewhere, take a few seconds to leave us a review on iTunes, Spotify, or wherever you listen to podcasts.